What's up, everybody? Kellen here from Start Your Systems. Welcome back to Flashback Friday, where today we're checking out EA Sports Supercross 2000, aka the first Supercross officially licensed video game we really ever had. This game came out at the exact same time as Supercross Circuit. Supercross Circuit also had some real tracks in it, but this was the official Pace and EA Sports, and at that time it was the AMA obviously involved as well, all came together and gave us this game as the first officially licensed Supercross game. And what's cool about this game is that it has pretty much all the tracks from 1999 in it. It has a bunch of these like amateur circuit tracks as well, where you can like learn how to play the game and work on your skills to get a little bit better, and then race the real circuit. But this is like legitimately what A1 looked like in '99. San Diego was round 2, Phoenix was round 3 at what at that time was the new Bank One ballpark. It's now Chase Field. The Kingdome, the last race ever in the Kingdome, we have that in here. We have A2, Tampa, good race that year. Atlanta, Texas, which was back then it was Irving. Obviously now it's at AT&T Stadium. Even have Daytona. We have Houston. We have Minneapolis and St. Louis, Pontiac, New Orleans, Indianapolis, and Vegas. The only difference is the Pontiac race doesn't go into the stands, which it did this year. But yeah, it's really cool that they actually had the full season in it. You can race the full season. We're going to do a couple quick races today on a few different tracks. I think we'll start off with like a West Coast track, and then we'll do an East Coast track. But yeah, let's check it out, shall we? In terms of playable characters, it's kind of funny. They have a couple freestyle guys in this game because there was freestyle competition. So Mike Metzger and Brian Deegan both make it into the game. There's no Jeremy McGrath, there's no Ezra Lusk, and there's no Ricky Carmichael. But pretty much every single other of the main 250 class riders at that time are in the game. Henry, LaRocco, Pichon, Dowd, Ward, Albertine, Jimmy Button, Jeff Emig, who was, of course, the 97 champ, was kind of the key guy of the game. Like he was, on the cover of the game. And he's the main character that you use throughout most of the game as well, if you ever just load it up. Brown, Wyndham, Raynard, Hughes, Mike Craig, Christian Craig's dad, Tim Ferry, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, Steve Lamson, Heath Foss, Huffman, Smale, Phil Lawrence, and Tortelli, and then Deegan, as I mentioned. Pedro Gonzalez also made it into the game too as well. So kind of cool to see. We also have 4-strokes and 2-strokes in this game, so that was a cool mix-up as well. I'm going to play as Mikhail Pichon on the factory Honda. There's also ways to change your setup a little bit, and let's jump in. So what was cool about this game is they actually had heats and main events available to race in the game back then as well. And I mean, it's a 1999 game, so obviously it looks a little bit rusty around the edges, very pixelated, but yeah, it was for PlayStation and N64, I believe. But it had heat races, it had main events, it had LCQs. I forget if it had semi races or not, but it definitely had LCQs. And the track also actually had some deformation in it. I'll try to point it out when I see it a little bit, but the like little jump faces and stuff got some notches in them, and it's kind of cool like how they actually implemented some things into this game, and also had like the full real schedule as well, which again, this was way ahead of its time comparatively speaking, because we did not get an officially licensed Supercross game after 2001 all the way until 2017 was the next time we had officially licensed Supercross tracks in a video game. So kind of crazy, that timeline and lineage, that it takes 16, 17 years basically to get officially licensed Supercross tracks back into a video game. But of course now we have them every year. And then the modern day fans of the sport complain to no end that the game sucks and all that stuff like that. But this is what I grew up on, people. This is the game I grew up playing a ton when I was a kid, and just was excited to even have a Supercross game to play. So count your blessings a little bit that this isn't the only game you guys have. But you can see some of these jump faces. I haven't really been able to see like a deep rut yet, but some of these jump faces definitely will get some notchy holes in them. And we have already done Supercross 2000 for a Flashback Friday. There you go. You see a little bit of a rut in the face of that jump on the right side. Even right here coming out of this one, you can see it's like knocked down a little bit in that little center area. But we've already done Supercross 2000 for a Flashback Friday before, so this isn't new, like we're doing it again basically. But just wanted to do it because obviously it's timely right now with the new Supercross game coming out. A lot of people talking about that and what they like or don't like about it, so kind of cool to relive some history a little bit here and go back to really where Supercross games got their start, more or less. Obviously, we had Excite Bike and VMX Racing and more stuff like that, Motocross Madness. All that stuff was before this game came out, but this was the first console officially licensed Supercross game. And some of you guys will ask, well, what about like Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 98, which was before this? And obviously, Jeremy McGrath was the like marquee guy of the sport back then. Well, it's not an officially licensed game. In fact, Jeremy never was in an officially licensed Supercross game. All the games that he released were self-titled games for the most part. He was in Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000, Jeremy McGrath versus Travis Pastrana, and a couple other titles, I believe, as well. But he was never in like the full officially titled Supercross games because he was partnered with a different game studio that made their own kind of game. So you'll never see Jeremy in these old games like that either. But honestly, what's kind of crazy to me about these games is I grew up with Jeremy McGrath being like the icon of the sport, and now so many of the younger generations genuinely like had no idea. Like, I mean, they know who Jeremy McGrath is, but they just don't get how big of a star he was back then. And, you know, even these days you hear guys like Jet Lawrence and stuff say like, I don't even really remember Ricky Carmichael racing. And I remember vividly Carmichael dethroning Jeremy McGrath and stuff like that. So, whoa, went through the wall here. Can we get back onto the track or are we stuck? Oh, we're going to go down here. But yeah, it's cool to go back and kind of relive this a little bit and see what these tracks were like and how the game played and stuff like that. Physically, it's pretty tough. Like, it's not a very nice game to play because it throws you around a little bit and the brakes don't exactly work how you want to, and you kind of slide into the corner awkwardly. But it is cool that like the track deformed and you could actually do like some rhythm lane jumps, and for the most part, the tracks were as close to the real tracks as possible. Like, they definitely took some jumps out and took some liberties with how they designed some of these tracks to make it fit a little bit better for this actual game. But it is pretty close to that Anaheim from this year. So kind of cool to see. So I'm going to finish up this race, and then we're going to go do one East Coast race just to check out an East Coast track, and then we will send you guys on your way today. But let me know what you guys think about this, because obviously Supercross 25, big talking point about what's good or bad about it. But would you have played this back in the day if this was the only one on the market? Obviously Supercross Circuit also on the market as well. But a lot of people probably would have complained about this with the physics and stuff like that if we had social media back then. I feel like I just was enthralled with playing something like this in the first place and had the ability to even play a video game like this. I was just stoked. So interesting to see where we've come from and where we are now as a motocross gaming community. All right, 2 corners to go here. Let's see if we can pass Tortelli and Larry Ward. Larry Ward's going to try to hold us off here in these final 2 corners. We got Tortelli, and Ward was able to get that triple. We're going to land on him, though. Oh, and then we bounce off the berm, so Tortelli is going to get us back. Sad Tortelli is going to get us back. But, oh, yeah, there we go. That's the end of the race. All right, let's check out an East Coast track, shall we? All right, I chose to play Houston just because the track looked pretty cool, and I'm also playing as Doug Henry so that we can try out the 4-stroke a little bit as well. Henry was pretty much the only guy in the 99 season to ride the 4-stroke. At this time, it was a YZF 400. I don't even know if they had the F. I think it was just a YZ 400 or something back then. But then obviously they came out with the 426 and then eventually the 450. And Henry won a race, not Vegas this year, but the Vegas the year before that on a 4-stroke, and that was the initial win for a 4-stroke in Supercross competition. So Henry was kind of the pioneer of it a little bit and missed most of most of the 99 Supercross season with an injury, but came back for the last couple rounds, last round or something like that. It's always interesting to go back and look at history a little bit as well. But yeah, the 4-stroke. This is where it all started, really. All right, so up to a little bit of a better start. I have the AI on the hardest difficulty they can be, because just to show that, like, even back then they had some pretty competitive AI in these games. Larry Ward and Mike LaRocco out front here, so trying to close up on LaRocco. LaRocco number 3, Henry number 2. And this back then was when your number was determined on, like, where you finished the year before, basically, in Supercross and Motocross combined. So Henry had a pretty good 98 Supercross season, but I think he was like 3rd or 4th in the standings, and then he won the outdoor title in 98. So he earned number 2, which is the lowest number available. And Jeremy McGrath, who won the Supercross title in 98, did not race outdoors in 98. And so he ended up with number 15, interestingly enough. Anyway, just a little trip down memory lane right there for me, just going back and thinking about those days. But yeah, this Houston track, if I can remember this race even correctly, this was a showdown between Kevin Windham and Jeremy McGrath at this race. Whoa, as we're going to go through side of the track right there. I'm going to have to turn back around. And Windham led for half-ish of the main event, then made a mistake, and McGrath was able to get by and kind of took off from there, which was pretty much the status quo for a lot of the races back then with Jeremy, getting out front and pulling a pretty big lead by the end of the main event. But this was technically Wyndham's it was his second full year in the big bike class, but really his first good go at the championship, I feel like, after starting the season slow on a Honda, was really wicking it up in the second half of this championship and gave McGrath a pretty good run for his money, but McGrath still won the title in the end. So definitely remember a little bit about this race. Got this Supercross triple, getting over that. And I also liked how in this game, too, you could go off the track and it wouldn't just immediately reset you. You had to get back on the track. Felt a little bit realistic in that sense as well. And we're still holding on to second here. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured at some point I would start losing positions to these guys, but we've hung out up here. And if I didn't go off the track right here a couple laps ago, I think I might even still be in it with a shot at the lead. So just didn't have a very good run through that section. But Larocco's not too far up the track, so if I can have a good couple corners here. Oh, that's not good. We're jumping off the track. Oh, come on, get back on. There we go. Through here. If we can get back up to Larocco and maybe battle him for the win, that would be really fun. Got to get a good run through these whoops. Larocco's going super slow at the end of this straightaway, so we'll plow off this berm and double in off of that single, then hit the Supercross triple. Coming to the white flag. It's going to be close. I'm going to be right there. Didn't get that double in, so now we're going to have to double up to the finish line jump and then hit the tabletop. I mean, the physics were super weird in this game, but, I mean, at least it replicates the real tracks. And, I mean, look at how low that jump face got going through that rhythm section. Oh, we just plowed into Larocco. Just bumped him out of the way, and we're into the lead. We're going to win this race, I think, if I can get through these last few sections pretty clean. That's not good right there. That is not a good run into this corner. Gonna have to bounce off the wall, get stuck on the top of this jump a little bit. Ooh. Can hear him. He's right behind me again. Get a good run down this straightaway. Oh, triple up onto the table. Oh, okay. All right. Swing through this corner. Get a good run through the whoops. Good drive there. Bounce off this outside berm. And then can we get through this section clean? Supercross triple. Got it. Gonna roll this, double, and then roll this into the finish line jump. Can we double in? Almost, not quite. We're gonna win the race though. Look at that. So this is Supercross 2000 and the OG officially licensed Supercross game. Let me know what you guys think of this. Always fun to head back down memory lane. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. So long for now. If you liked that video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for much more motocross gaming content.